Hello. Yes, I've got another unit finished. I thought I'd show you. This is another 15mm 7 years old Prussian unit. This time Eureka miniatures. Some months ago, probably 3 months ago now, I bought a pack, or a selection of 24 Fusiliers to see how they fitted in with the rest of the army. And I thought they would probably work okay. So I've got around to painting them now, and I'd like to show you how they have turned out and give you some thoughts about the pros and cons of these figures. So I will turn the camera around and show you what they look like. Here we have the Gabelentz Fusiliers. This is Infantry Regiment 40. They have these rose pink facings, and the uniform has no lapels or collar. And they've come out quite well, I think. I'm quite pleased with how they've painted up. The front plate on the mitre is white metal, and I got the effect here by painting with steel and then putting a wash of black and blue over it. It's come out quite well. It's highlighted some of the detail that was being obscured by the sort of plain metal paint. So I'll turn them around, I'll give them a twirl. From behind, they look quite striking. The pink stands out quite well. The flags are GMB. This is the 1st Battalion, and I've just seen I haven't painted the top of the flagstaff. I'll need to go back and do that. Very nice flag. Works pretty well, I think. So overall, what did I think of the figures? I'll put an Old Glory Fusilier next to one of the stands in a minute so we can see how they compare in style and size. But there are some good things about these figures, and I would say the pose, I like the pose, with one caveat which I'll get to a little later. They have one belt going across the left shoulder and down to the right hip, which carries a cartridge case, a black leather cartridge case. Now, that is good, because when I show you the Old Glory one, you'll see that the Old Glory one have 3 bags going across the right shoulder and down to the left hip. So they've got what I imagine is a bread bag, a knapsack, and then on top of that they've got a water bottle. And just from the point of view of painting up the figure, that is an awful lot more fiddly. In terms of the detail, I don't think the detail was quite as good as it was on some of the Old Glory figures, if I'm honest. Painting the faces was a little bit more difficult. Painting the hands was a little bit more difficult. Picking up some of the creases was a little bit more difficult. Not enormously so, but enough to be noticeable. And I know other people have different styles of painting and it might suit them better, but my style of painting, I had to adapt it a little bit, and it became a little bit more surrealist. Impressionist rather than surreal, I suppose. Yeah, impressionistic. Still, I'm quite pleased with them. They've worked out all right. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to show one base again alongside an Old Glory base. Here you can see an Old Glory Fusilier stand alongside one of the Eureka stands. And there is a difference in height. And there's also a difference in the shape of the mitre plate. The Eureka figures are closer to how they were in practice. The Old Glory one is too rounded at the top. And that does bother me, just looking at the Old Glory figure. That doesn't look quite right in my eyes. And I've said before, I'm not keen on the leg position on the Old Glory figures, and the pose of the Eureka figures is better. But my one concern about the Eureka figures is the legs seem to be too long. And they might be in proportion, but to my eye, they could easily have lost maybe even a millimetre out of the legs without losing anatomical accuracy. And I think they look alright as a unit, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But it did feel a bit odd when I was painting them. What I'll do, I think, is get some Blue Moon figures and paint those up and see how they compare with these two manufacturers. Although I'm not going to order those for a while, and I'm probably going to move away from the 7 Years' War project for a while now. I've got some 6mm French for my Blenheim project, which I'll paint next, but more of that later. I'll put some stills at the end, but thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you'll join me again for the next video. Thank you.